Hey everyone, I'm back again, actually doing a little bit of an update of a previous video I've done about a couple, year and a half ago, I guess it was. One of the first videos I did on this channel was actually a video. I gave you a little tour of a workspace that I've been working on, or working out of, and I've made a couple changes to it, and I wanted to show you a little bit of what it is and give you a little bit of an updated tour to it. So yeah, if you were interested and want to know what the updates to it, keep watching. Also to preface this too, if you watched some of our last Underachievers podcast YouTube page videos, you may have also noticed some of the changes that I made to the room. But for this video purposes, I'm going to do a little bit more of an in-depth view of it. So if you want to see a little bit of what the room looks like, you can check out that YouTube page, Underachievers podcast YouTube page. That'll also be linked down below in the description. Similar to the video I did before showing the room, I'm going to start outside of it. Again, you can still see a little bit of inside, but just giving you a little bit outside perspective of the room again. One good thing already about this video versus the other one I did is the fact that it's a little quieter now. The server is a little quieter than it was before, so hopefully it's a little more drowned out this time than it was in the last video. It was a little loud that time. Once we get in the room, it's going to be a little more duller of that sound, so... Now back inside the room, I'm going to start off this tour and some of the areas that are still kind of the same. Not much has changed here. Most of my brother's stuff has been taken out except for this picture he took back in one of our trips to Animal Kingdom that he had framed. And of course, this board of old pins, Disney pins, and much more other pins that he still got here. And obviously this... third band record banner as well. And yes, now I'll point out the obvious. This is one new thing, and if you look, again, referencing that Underachievers page, you may have noticed this in the background of a light ring that I now got to hopefully help with some of the lighting issues. I don't have it on currently. The lighting's pretty well right now, so if I ever need it, I got it now. Now moving over to the shelving unit that's still in here. It's still in here. It just has significantly less stuff. And I'm still trying to think of more stuff to kind of put in each little cubby thing here. Obviously, you can see that I've already started on some of this stuff. Got a couple hats in here. I'll show you a little bit closer to them. You got this Johnny Cupcakes Bart Simpson's hat. They were my brother's. He wasn't using them anymore, and they're now mine. This Walt Disney Imagineering hat, and this 2008 World Championship Phillies hat that I got now. Moving down, another Johnny Cupcakes hat. I showed this in our last Whitmer Quake podcast, the jersey, Winnipeg Jets, Connor Hellebuck jersey Jeff bought me after a bet he lost. I got a tripod here. That's the one remnants of my brother's stuff still being here. Smaller tripod. Moving over, we got a little beanie. GoPro. The camera that I was using, and I'll get to that in a second a little bit too. And one of the original cameras that I actually started doing some filming with back in my college days, I was using this Nikon camera. And I will say that was a good camera. The only issue that I had was it's more of a digital camera that was really filming. So as good as the picture was, and it was a great picture, the audio was the issue. You would always hear this like crinkling, like staticky kind of sound in the background. And because of it, the audio never sounded great on some of those videos. But yeah, that was the first video camera I used. And the video camera I usually use, going back to the one I just showed you, some audio issue was the external mic kind of cut out and didn't really work, as I tried doing this video a little bit ago, but because of the audio on it and the external mic not working anymore, and trying it again, it just wasn't working for me. So I'm trying it from this, seeing if it works any better, and then probably gonna get another external mic to see if that works. If that doesn't work, I'm probably gonna get another camera. But yeah, that's a little update as to the camera I'm using. And now back to the tour. This section has actually been changed a good amount. Obviously, if you remember from that video, these two Mac computer and Mac monitor are still here with my old Mac laptop. The desk has changed. If you remember correctly, It was more of a makeshift desk before, and that was just 2 drawers and a big countertop that kind of took up the whole length of this back wall here. As I back up a little bit to show you a little more. Pretty much from where the chair was all the way to where this desk ended. It was pretty much the length of it. But now it's been changed with this desk. This one's the one I've been using more recently. And again, I already showed you some of that section. But now moving over to the biggest change of the room. But to finally get the elephant out of the room, I will show you the biggest change to the room itself that maybe want to kind of give you this updated tour. And that's where I'm currently doing the podcast and stuff from. And I'll show you a little bit of where it is now. And as you can see, it's still the same table that I'm using. Still the same table, and obviously the same equipment as well. Same mics. There's the one, there's the other. Ignore the trash can in the corner. But yeah, everything else is still the same podcasting equipment wise. And obviously, if you remember, if you've ever watched one of our Underachievers videos or anything like that, you may have seen this hockey stick in the background. And yes, I still have it. It is just going to be hanging out right here. It may not even show up in some of the videos or anything, but it is still in the room. It is still a work in progress room, I will admit to that. Obviously it's not the biggest amount of changes, but it's enough for me to want to show you a little bit of the update to it. And it's still going to be changing as I get more comfortable just working with the room itself. The first thing is obviously, and I'll show you this too, the rug that's currently in here is actually potentially going to be replaced with a bigger carpet, as we changed out a carpet before on our second floor, and we cut out a section of it that's now going to be the same length as this room, and that's going to help with anything, especially if it's like winter time or anything like that, dealing with a concrete ground and not really having that. Make it a little warmer in here. It may be a little tough in the summertime, or may even feel great because it's still a basement after all. But yeah, this is pretty much the room that is right now. I'll show you a little overarching of what the room looks like. But yeah, that's all I really got. Again, not really the longest of videos, but again, just wanted to show you a little bit of some of the updates. It was already kind of shown in some of our other podcasts that I do. If you check out those YouTube pages, Whitmer Quick Podcast YouTube page, Underachievers Podcast YouTube page, as I mentioned earlier, those will be in the description of this video as well, if you want to check out some of those as well. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for this one. Keep an lookout. I'm going to do another podcast at some point as well. Check out if you're an Underachievers fan next week. Hopefully it will be our 100th episode. Our Whitmer Quake podcast was just uploaded last night that Jeff and I recorded. So just a bunch of stuff if you want to get a better look of what we talk about, who I am, if this is the first video you saw of me, get a better look, or get a better idea of who I am and everything. And with that, I will see you next time. And as I mentioned, the overarching room, I'm just going to give you a higher little look at what the room looks like as I turn back down this way and go back down to the table. And the rug I just mentioned that's in here on the carpet. As you can tell, it doesn't go the whole length of the room, but that's been work. It's a carpet I've had pretty much since my freshman year of college, so it's definitely got its uses out of it.